Today's video, we're going to talk about how to target a single video on YouTube with your video ads that you want to have show up on a single video, maybe a competitor's video. Maybe a video, a third-party review that was done of your product or service. You want to have your ad show up on that video. But regardless of the situation, why you're doing it, to actually get your ad, your video ad, your in-stream video ad to show up on another person's video, it's not quite as easy as it once was. You can actually go ahead and set that up by having a campaign set with no objective. But if that doesn't work for you in and itself, which it isn't for more and more people all the time, you struggle to get impressions on your keywords, there's a workaround method that I've found that works beautifully to get impressions on your ad or with your ads on the videos that you specifically want using keyword targeting. And I know what you're saying already. Keyword targeting, what the hell, Corey? I'm trying to do placement targeting to place my video on another video on YouTube. Keyword targeting is the workaround way to get your video on a specific video you want directly or specifically on YouTube. So bear with me, I'll explain why and how in short without having to dangle the carrot in front of you for a few minutes here as I go through this. The short explanation of this is you basically are going to use the title of the video that you want to get on as a keyword to target effectively a video that you want your video ad to show up on. And I'm going to explain and go into the full details with this, but that's basically the method that I wanted to share with you today. And I came up with this method as a way to get around the issue for myself, and also been hearing you guys on comments on different videos how to exactly get around it, given it's not as easy, even if you do target individual videos on YouTube, to even get impressions on those placements that and videos that you're trying to get your ad to ultimately show up on. As a side, before I get into the full details on this, it's really dumb that Google's getting rid of this. And I understand why Google's doing this, making it harder to target individual videos. Of course, they want their AI to be able to they're thinking their AI is sophisticated enough. They don't necessarily need to have you guide them specifically like that to get you customers if you have conversion tracking set up. But putting the BS aside, the end reality of this is Google don't want you to be able to target your ads with a surgical approach. They want you to be able to use a blunt baseball bat or shotgun approach. We would just call baseball bat is the better term to target your ad, so they could end up charging you more money to get the customers that you want. And the more they make you buy to get what you do want to buy, the more that they make effectively, right? And with a lot of, and you maybe say, well, how does that work? Because if people didn't make money, they wouldn't run ads. Well, the reality is about half of the people that I see, and I come across at my PPC agency, half of them don't even have conversion tracking set up. And they don't know how much their ads are making. So if everybody's forced to buy 3 times as much ads as they had before with the same exact settings, they're going to be able to make at least twice as much money from that, given half of them will just go with it anyway. Given their campaigns, a lot of them were limited by budget. They weren't running all day with the settings, and then, they just widened the targeting on the existing targeting options. And now that person's spending more money. Ultimately, I guess that's not the best analogy. A better analogy here would be that a person wants to be able to spend more, but they can't spend more. And if they widened the targeting options to make it, with the current settings that you have, be able to cast a wider net, the person that does and willing to spend more, particularly as a Google rep follows up with them and encourages them to spend more, they would be able to make more money from that person. So anyway, with the theories aside here, I'll get into how to push all that BS aside, go back to what was really effective for a lot of you guys. There's just specific videos that you would show up on, namely your own reviews, your that are out there, third-party reviews about your product or service that you want to get your ads on, to pull demand away from those videos directly, because those people are in the mood to buy if you can just capture them at that exact time, particularly by having a video ad that offers a short time, limited time discount. So if they're watching a third-party review video that reviews your product well, you could say, this weekend only we're offering a flash sale on this product, and instead of delaying or just saying, oh, that's just kind of interesting, maybe I'll come back later and buy, they feel like they have to act now or they're not going to get the discount. And therefore, because they're going to procrastinate less, you're going to end up with more sales, because a lot of people who procrastinate, even with good intentions, they don't buy. So the goal always is to get people to buy sooner than later, to get more overall sales from your market, from the places that it's profitable to get the sales from. The other, sure bet in your market's targeting your direct competitors' videos. And if you wanted to go slightly beyond that, people that have typed in and looked for your competitors in the recent past or been to their sites, targeting those people with ads as well, but it's not, that in itself is not nearly as good as actually having your ad show up directly on your competitors' videos, which would obviously be people watching your competitors' videos on their channel to contemplate buying that product or service from that competitor. And then if you have a video ad that has that same so-called weekend flash sale on it, you could literally just suck away the demand and customers that the competitor would have got if they didn't see your ad. So anyway, because most of you guys can't make showing up for people who are just kind of interested in buying a product in your market, or of a certain demographic that matches what your customers typically are, and get that to be profitable, which some of you guys can, particularly you guys that are more advanced and know how to set up good video ads and all that. Most of you guys, though, can get competitor targeted videos or video ads to be profitable. In order to do that, the best way to do it is targeting those exact videos. You hand pick the videos of your competitors that are directly relevant to what you want to offer, particularly if your competitor has multiple products that you find, you hand pick items that directly go with another comparable item that in your shop, and then have the video ad talk about item A that's directly competing with that item B that is on your competitor's inventory, if you will, so that you're speaking as relevant as possible to the user to get as many of those people from that video of your competitors to your site to buy. So, but technically you could target all your competitors' brand names and keywords, or brand names and product names as doing keyword targeting to target your competitors' videos, but that potentially won't be as good because it's not as precise. And there's certain videos within your competitor's channel that you don't want to target. There's certain videos that are like how to service your product, which is people that have already bought already. So that's just pure waste. Much better off finding the exact videos that are like literally a bona fide review of that competitor's product to have your ad show up on, using the method I just gave you there for video ad and having a flash sale show up on your competitor's video, and hand select those videos that are really appropriate, and then only showing up on them for the maximum ROI potential. By eliminating waste, you'll have a much higher ROI. So anyway, to show up in only specific videos, you have to use placements targeting, but placements targeting is not starting to work anymore. So there is a workaround. Google already has said that they're going to be getting rid of placements targeting on YouTube ads, particularly for campaigns that are targeting where the objective of the video campaign is to drive conversions, anything besides no objective whatsoever. You could actually still do placements targeting if you set up your video campaign with no objective, but even then, it's still difficult to get the individual videos that you want to target and have your ad show up for to actually get impressions on those videos. It's not as easy. If you do get it, it generally, as we have found, takes a while. I mean a while, I mean like weeks or months of just letting the campaign marinate, and I don't know what the hell's going on with Google's ad serving algorithm or whatnot, but like we even did it for our own channel. I eat my own dog food here. We have our videos show up on our direct competitors' YouTube channels on YouTube. Which, when I say direct competitors, I don't mean direct competitors as in other ad agencies, since we are an ad agency. Because most of our competitors' ad agencies don't have a YouTube channel. But there's certain agencies that do have a YouTube channel that is popular, and then we'll have, or some people that don't even have an agency, but they just talk about PPC strategy, which this channel is about. And then we have our videos show up during those videos. So if they're watching a video about PPC strategy from another PPC expert that runs an agency, we want our ad to show up there. We set that campaign up. It used to be easy to get impressions. Then lately it wouldn't work, but what we found is if you just let the campaign run, even though it's not getting any impressions, and you set the bids high enough, cost per view bid high enough, you'll eventually get impressions. It just doesn't work automatically. And so the best thing you can do is to raise the bid high enough to where you know that the bid is, that absolutely cannot be a limiting factor for you on your no objective video campaign, and then just wait for it to kick in basically. Once it kicks in, it will work and work and work after that basically. But you may not have all the time in the world to wait for these video ads to show up. Or maybe you do this and it still doesn't show up even after 3 months of having that campaign activated. In that case, you do have the workaround method, as I was talking about in this video, as possible, and we verified it works, which is to have the title of the video that you want to target as a keyword that you're targeting in your campaigns. So you still have to have your no objective campaign, okay? But instead of doing the placements targeting, you add additional keywords targeting. So I would stay with your placements targeting that you had, that you could start with, to see if that will even work for you. But then add also keyword targeting. The keywords will literally be the title of the video you want to target. So if the title of the video is, you know, the XJR12, you know, luxury car review, that exact title, verbatim, is the keyword that you're going to target in your video campaign. Effectively, what it then forces Google's algorithm that serves the ads to do is to look all on YouTube, you know, completely, all of YouTube, and find what's appropriate and would match the context of that keyword. And since the keyword is just so specific, it basically only has one thing it could match up with, which is that exact video. Now, it's not always going to be exactly only matching to that video that you want to show up on. I will admit that. A lot of times it will. Particularly if you're in a niche where it's not a common widespread niche. If you're in a niche like, you know, designer clothes, there's, you know, thousands if not millions of videos in that topic. So it can accidentally show up for other videos you don't, other than the video you wanted to target itself, and you have a little bit of a problem. So naturally, so it will work, we'll just say a little bit better for some than others, depending on how wide of a niche you're in, but it's certainly better than nothing, right? And respectively, as a side, in terms of while you're in your keyword targeting menu, you could target your competitors, like product names, if you're trying to have your video show up on competitors' reviews, competitor review videos, and try to go about doing things that way. But having the title of the video will almost always be a lot more precise than having the competitor's product name there as a keyword in your video campaign. So anyway, for the most part, 80% of you guys, you'll do rather well by targeting keywords that match the titles of the videos that you want your video ads to show up on. That's your workaround to doing placements targeting to achieve essentially what placements targeting used to do without any trouble. Now, with the if you're wondering about, like, you're saying, Corey, well, I've got 50 videos I need to target here. How do I do this? If you have more than one video to target, okay, you're going to target those in one ad group. Or video you're targeting, you'll target it in an individual ad group. Why do you want to do that? Well, there's a couple reasons. One of which, you want to be able to, there'll be some video titles that you're targeting as keywords that they have too wide of a spread. You're showing up not just on the video in question you want to show up on, but too many other videos, and you'll just have to shut that down. And there's no way to optimize it so you can get it honed down to just showing up on that one video you want. So maybe out of 50 videos, 40 of them you can only continue to run that ad long term, because 10 of them it just showed up for too many other videos. So that you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater then, so to say. You can actually just stick with the video, the ad groups that target specific videos that ultimately worked and targeted just the video you intended to have it target, and that's it. The other reason why you would do one video that you're targeting per ad group is because you could hand pick the video, obviously, that shows up for the person itself. So that, going back to what I said before, most people don't have, by the way, good results with YouTube ads because they don't know how to make video commercials. You can't just take any old video on your YouTube channel and use that as a video ad. I don't know why people think that's okay, that's going to work, but unless you have a really remarkable product or service, it won't work. But in addition to that, you got to be able to be hyper relevant a lot of times for it to work. In that, like I said, if you're targeting competitor videos, you don't just have one video that targets every competitor video equally. You go ahead and you have a separate video that speaks on why your product or service is better than that competitor's product or service specifically, so that you could talk about the comparing that product or service to your product or service that you have that's compatible and competes directly with that particular product or service directly head on. Because when your video ad shows up for that person, it actually is helping educate that user in a way that they're happy that they found your video. It's not a nuisance at that point. That's always your goal with display advertising online, with the ability that we have as advertisers to target somebody on a finite enough level to where you know exactly what that person wants, and then in turn be able to have a video or an ad that speaks directly to that user to solve that exact problem for that user. If the ads don't work, it's basically it's your problem, it's your fault, because you have the ability to get that specific with your ads. The only question is whether you want to take advantage of that or not. If somebody's looking for a review on this product and you know your product over here is twice as good for half the price, why the hell are you not creating a video to speak to that person considering that product, to explain to them why that product is not the best buy for them? Because if they did, they would buy your product, would they not? So why are you not doing that? And so with that, you have each video that you're trying to target in its own ad group, so you can have a dedicated video for that video that you're showing up on. Which I know that sounds crazy to have a unique video ad for every placement, but a lot of these placements you could use the same video ad. Because ultimately, you might have 30 videos that are on this competing product over here that if they're looking at this competing product, you know your information about your product over here would be relevant to that user. And so you could use that same video you made for anybody looking at this product over here 30 times effectively. But you'll get tons more results making specific videos comparing your product or service to individual product or services that people are considering to help that user on, in terms of the product they're looking at. The reason why they're looking at that product is because it's in that particular price point that they can afford. It has specific features that they specifically need. So when you come over here and start saying, we're a company who've been in business 40 years, we're great, they don't give a shit. And they're going to close your video down, and you're going to, because nobody cares, your ads are not going to be profitable. The whole game with display ads online, including video ads, is being relevant. The more relevant you are, the more click-through you're going to get. The higher the click-through, the cheaper the cost per click is going to be. The cheaper the cost per click is, the higher your ROI is going to be. So the only question is, will you narrow down enough, and will you be relevant enough as on top of that for the user to click through at a high enough rate to make the ad profitable or not? And you can target is almost as, down to one video like we're talking about here, and you could say what exactly what they're watching, what they're interested in. You could tailor your message exactly to that person's mindset at that time. And effectively, when you usually do, you will mainly always make money from that particular opportunity, specifically when you're talking about competitor videos. So anyway, much better off using placement targeting or targeting specific videos when you combine it with specifically having hand-picking certain videos that you've made for people that are watching a certain type of video over here, because you already know what that person wants, and you've got a ready-made video to talk to that person directly that has a specific mindset in mind over here, so that if they're looking at product A, you're going to have them see video A that you made. If they're looking at product B, you're going to have them see video B. As a side here, will Google get completely away from placements targeting itself? I don't know why Google would do this, because as I had a commenter say the other day, maybe you're watching this, Jesse or whoever it was that I believe that it was, essentially Google, people are doing sponsorships. So you can make money on YouTube by doing advertising or advertising revenue share with Google, where they give you half of the advertisers' money that advertise on your channel. But you also could get sponsorships where people pay you directly, companies pay you to have video ads within the videos that you have, and the video ads are not done through Google's platform, but they're you add it to the video itself. I'm sure you've seen this, like NordVPN and all these other VPN services. You'll talk, and then you switch over to talk about NordVPN, and then it goes back to the regular content. And that cuts out Google, so to say. Google doesn't get a piece of that action at that point. So if we want to target individual videos and have our ads show up there, and we cannot do it, and we know we can't get a profit from our ads but unless we target individual videos, because if we don't target individual videos, our advertising isn't relevant enough to get the click-through rate, going back to what I was talking about that before, to make the ROI high enough. You either just won't do anything at all, or you'll go directly to the video people that you want and ask for a placement there. And if you're talking about competitor videos, obviously the competitors aren't going to let you advertise on those videos. But if we're talking about something else, where the video is directly relevant to what your product or service solves, instead of just giving up, you'll just go directly to that channel owner and ask them to advertise on that video. And then Google doesn't get a cut. So why is it Google wants to, they're setting their own selves up to fail in that situation? Because there's many times that targeting on a broad scale basis, where they're interested in a general category of what you sell, isn't going to be profitable. So to whether Google changes their mind on that, I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But anyway, with all that said, if you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like, and consider subscribing, as I have a ton of other content on this channel about other money-making PPC strategies that can help you make millions of dollars with your ads. Given I manage several dozen PPC campaigns at a given time here at our agency, and I give you the working strategies on a silver platter for you to be able to use, as well as the stuff to stay away from that is bullshit and doesn't work. It's the best information you're going to find basically online on the stuff that out there works today, and not just the theory, but how to execute this stuff yourself. If you like the channel, you'll love my blog that I also have at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where you could also find step-by-step instructions on how to make PPC campaigns work, campaign strategies that I actively use on clients' campaigns on a regular basis to guarantee their results. So you may want to also check that out. Beyond that, if you have any questions about anything I covered today, about targeting individual videos, or any of the strategies I talked about on this particular video, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel within a couple days' time. If you have any other questions about PPC, you can also feel free to leave me a comment below. I'll probably get back to you with an answer anyway, as that's just the kind of guy that I am. As a final thought here, so I run a PPC agency where we offer full-on managed PPC services. where we get you results. We do it on a guaranteed basis. If you don't want full-on PPC management, which a lot of people don't, they want to handle it in-house, you would be doing yourself a serious favor by contacting our agency and find out if we got results in your market already. We've already worked in hundreds of markets in the last close to 10 years. And if we got results in your market already, you would be able to, it would be to your advantage to simply pay us for the information that we know that already gets results in your market already, instead of building all this up from scratch. And what we do for people, if they don't want to hire us outright, we can sell the ad copy, landing page templates and so forth that get results in that market, and you could use them on your own. And then it's a one-time fee. You're getting, you know, the gold-plated version of what works in that market already, and know what kind of results you can get in your market thereof. So ultimately, and you know, it works well enough to where the reason why I even made this an official program that we're offering here on this channel is we have people that started brand new businesses up. They just took our campaign templates that work in one market, started them up, outsourced all the work to somebody else in their local market, and had a working business where they're taking 10-20% of the revenue that comes through on the leads. And because the campaigns are so good and they beat all the other campaigns in that local market, they have a business just with that alone. E-commerce businesses, people have started campaigns up that we've got working in one country and another country and made those work right away, that kind of thing. So anyway, if you're interested in that type of thing, want to know if we got results in your market already, reach out to us. There's only one way to find out. But with that, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another fantastic PPC strategy for you there as well. See you later.